Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie, and in this video, I want to give you guys my overall thoughts of the New York Jets' decision to start Mike White against the Chicago Bears, and this overall, situation, how Robert Saleh handled it. We found out that Zach Wilson spoke with the team this morning in a meeting where he addressed the entire team, and apparently, according to DJ Reed, who told Rich Tamini of ESPN, that it was a heartfelt message, and Zach Wilson's going to try his best to fight for his job back. And Robert Saleh's message to Zach Wilson is simply that he needs a reset. He needs to sit back. There's a lot of fundamentals that's out of whack right now. And according to Robert Saleh, he feels like this is not the end of Zach Wilson's tenure with the New York Jets. And his full intent is that Zach Wilson will be back on the field for the Jets this season as a quarterback. And we're going to break that all down and give you guys my overall thoughts of this entire situation in this video. If you guys are just tuning in for the first time on Jets Media, consider hitting that subscribe button. Got a lot of Jets content coming your way, of course, all throughout the rest of the season. And if you guys are just tuning in, please do me a gigantic favor. Hit that like button, and more importantly, comment down below your thoughts of Mike White, of this entire situation. Are you in favor of the New York Jets benching Zach Wilson and starting Mike White, or do you think it's a mistake? Do you feel like Zach Wilson deserves another chance? I would love to hear what you guys have to say down below in the comments section. With that being said, let's get into my thoughts of this. Starting off with Sunday against the New England Patriots, when you look at that film, and I broke it all down on my channel if you guys want to check it out on yesterday, my biggest takeaway from Zach Wilson in terms of what's going wrong with him on the field is his footwork and his simple fundamentals. I mean, he's missing the easy stuff. And an offense is not going to be able to thrive if you can't hit the simple screen passes, if you can't simply see a guy wide open and not throw him the football. And I feel like the Jets, as a coaching staff, they saw that, and they're like, well, we have confidence in Mike White to be able to hit the easy throws, because all we need right now is an offense to not blow it up, but an offense that can put up 17, 20, 24 points a game, because that's how good this defense is. And we also know that a big factor to this benching of Zach Wilson has a lot to do with what Zach Wilson said after the game, not taking any accountability. And we heard reports following the game from SNY that rubbed people in the locker room the wrong way, that Zach Wilson's walking around thinking that he's not the problem. So Robert Saleh had something to do about this in terms of he has to save the locker room. And Robert Saleh, in my opinion, has done a tremendous job with the situation. It's not an easy situation that he's doing right now. On Monday, he handled the press conference perfectly. This morning, he did another phenomenal job. And what he's doing is sending a message to this team that this is not all about developing Zach Wilson for the future of this organization. We're going to put the other 52 players on this roster ahead right now because we're 6-4. And Jets fans, we need to realize that we're 6-4. So it's not all doom and gloom. I know this is not a positive thing right here, that we're making a quarterback change and our second overall pick and your number 2 is being benched. There's obviously no positive to take away from that. But I really tip my cap to Robert Saleh by handling the situation, understanding that we are a team that is ready to win now, and we have a young quarterback who's simply not doing the easy stuff. It would be a different conversation if Zach Wilson is just not able to, lead them to a comeback, and the team around him's not playing well, and he's, playing good, but he's just, not hitting those hard throws. But the reality is Zach Wilson's not hitting the easy stuff. His fundamentals out of whack. His footwork is not there. So when you look at Mike White and you compare Zach Wilson to Mike White, the big difference is, in my opinion, the athleticism. The cool thing about Zach Wilson, in my opinion, is his ability to escape the pocket, and if the pocket collapses, he can make something happen with his legs. Mike White, that's not going to really be the case. So I feel like Mike LaFleur's job is to really make sure that they open up the playbook and get the ball out of Mike White's hands very fast. And I also want to say one quick thing before we get deeper into Mike White. I do not think this is the end of Zach Wilson for the New York Jets. I really believe that the New York Jets are looking at this in the long run and saying, Zach Wilson's not all there right now mentally. He did not take himself accountable on Sunday. His fundamentals are all out of whack. There's mechanical issues, and it's kind of unfair to throw Zach Wilson out there and handling all the scrutiny that the entire world is putting on him while preparing for a game in the Chicago Bears. So the Robert Saleh-led New York Jets thought in the best interest for him in the long term is that they're going to bench him and allow him to take a deep breath, allow him to watch Mike White execute, and they're hopeful that Zach Wilson returns later on in the year. Now, whether that happens or not, I can't say that for certain, but I really believe that it would be wrong for Jets fans to completely just write off Zach Wilson for his entire career with the Jets. I do not think that this means this is the end of Zach Wilson forever with the Jets. I think this is a disciplinary thing that Robert Saleh is doing. And another thing about Saleh that really impressed me, a lot of people criticized Saleh last year and sometimes beginning of this year that Robert Saleh is a little soft and he doesn't hold his players accountable. He's too nice of a guy. You don't see him screaming at his players on the sideline. He doesn't hold his own players accountable. Well, all those narratives got thrown out the window because Robert Saleh just benched his quarterback because of his poor play. So that tells you that Robert Saleh behind the scenes, he might be, a little different than what he looks like on the camera with a smile on his face all the time, being optimistic, being a positive energy. I think he is definitely, a different type of person on the sideline than he is on the cameras, especially in the locker room with his teammates when the cameras and the reporters are not there. So I got to give Robert Saleh a lot of credit because he's handling this like a grown-up, and it's refreshing as a Jets fan to have a head coach that I really, really watch him talk to the media, and it's like, oh, wow, we have someone that's functionable that actually knows how to address a bad situation that the Jets are in right now. So I just got to tip my cap to that. Now, getting back to Mike White against the Chicago Bears, what should we expect from Mike White in this game as Jets fans? You look back at what Mike White did last year. We all know that this game right here, the picture, that jersey is in the Hall of Fame right now. First quarterback ever to put up 400 yards, 3 touchdowns in his first career start. And that game was, all about checking it down to the running backs, a lot of trick plays. He had a great touchdown pass to Braxton Berrios. He led the Jets back, and they won the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. And then the next game was against the Colts, and he actually looked really good in that game until he got injured, and Josh Johnson came in that game, you guys remember. And then his third game, he went out there against the Buffalo Bills, and he looked terrible. He put up 4 interceptions and just looked like a quarterback where we're like, okay, maybe that Mike White magic's not there anymore, and then that's when Zach Wilson returned. So in the small sample size we saw from Mike White, we saw a lot of good, we saw a lot of bad. It was, a mixture of both. And I think what Mike White gives this Jets team is someone that is very poised and comfortable in the pocket with his footwork, right? I think that's the biggest difference right now when you look at Zach Wilson's issues and Mike White. The one thing I liked about Mike White is he just looks like a pure pocket passer. He drops back to pass. His footwork, his mechanics, and all that is just perfect in my opinion. Just in terms of not throwing off your back foot, driving your throws, squaring your feet to your target. And I feel like Mike White can be a game manager to the point where we don't need him to go out there and win us some games, especially going up against this Chicago Bears team that's one of the worst defenses in the league. But we also have to look out for Justin Fields. If he is playing, which he is injured, this defense is going to have to contain Justin Fields because Justin Fields is red hot right now. Justin Fields is looking like a great young quarterback, not really through the air, but on the ground, he is dominating the NFL in the past couple of weeks. So Mike White, he doesn't have to do too much. If you look at what Zach Wilson did in the 7 starts with the Jets, Zach Wilson is 5-2 as a starter. Now, I think we can all agree that Zach Wilson wasn't the reason why we won all those games, but what Zach Wilson did is exactly what I want to see from Mike White. Be a game manager, put the ball in the right situations, hit the open targets, make sure that you hit the easy throws, establish a run game, limit the turnovers, and rely on our stout defense. And that's really the formula of success with this Jets franchise. So I really want to give you guys my thoughts of the overall situation. I know it was live earlier to give you guys my thoughts, but I want to do it in a video format just to give you guys my overall take on the situation. Love to hear what you guys have to say down below in the comment section. As always, if you guys are not already, please hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll catch you guys in my next video. I hope you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving with your family and friends. Stay safe out there and enjoy football tomorrow. And let's go Lions and let's go Vikings tomorrow. You know what I mean? I think you guys know what I mean. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your night. And let's go Jets. Peace.